Hey guys, welcome back to Strength X Coaching. So I have a fifth Q&A video in store for you guys today, but before I get into it, make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel. So anyways, I do have a question from Bobby Forever, and he's just wondering how I calculate my reps and weight. So basically it's going to depend on which part of the workout that you're trying to calculate the reps and weight for. Your warm-ups are going to be different from your primary work, and secondary work will be different from tertiary work and so on. So my workouts have about 5 parts. I'll start with a warm-up. Either it'll be like a winning warm-up style where I'm doing like 2 to 3 sets of 25 on a few different movements, getting the prime movers warmed up. Also warming up the antagonist movements, and then any other joints, say like my knees or my elbows. And sometimes I'll hit the rotator cuffs too and make it a quad set. Then I will move on to my primary work, where I'm either doing max effort, dynamic effort work, or I'm ramping up to a top set. Follow that up with secondary movements, also known as my assistance exercises. These are going to be, things like Larson press, pause squat, or even regular back squat, just back down work. So then I will move on to tertiary work, which is kind of your smaller movements. I usually do them in accessory supersets, just to get in and out of the gym faster. And then finally I will cool down and stretch. So usually I'm doing a little bit of Tai Chi, a couple of yoga poses, and then some static stretching so my muscles aren't so tense when I leave the gym. Okay, so for primary work, it's going to depend on if you're doing conjugate or 5-3-1. Those are the two systems I really promote, just because once you dive into the programming, they're pretty simple. They don't really force an aggressive rate of progression that usually leads to injuries. I like how these programs focus on slow and steady progress, and especially for natural lifters, that's the key. So when I'm working with a conjugate-based system, I'm either doing max effort or dynamic effort work. For the max effort, I'll either ramp up to a training max, which is somewhere around 90 to 95%. Sometimes I will go to an all-out max, not that often though. Another protocol would be 2 to 4 sets of 1 rep at 90%. Or you can just ramp to a 2 to 5 rep max at RPE 9. Once in a while, you can overshoot and push that to an RPE 10. As long as you're not doing it every week, you'll be just fine. Now for dynamic effort work, you can take 30 to 40%, some people 35 to 45%. That's in a 3-week wave. So week 1 would be 30%, week 2 is 35%, week 3 is 40%. You're also going to want to have a consistent band or chain ratio, or not ratio, amount of weight on there. So somewhere from 15 to 25% over your 1 rep max in accommodating resistance. It's going to vary. Some people get better results with heavier band or chain. Some people get better bar speeds with a lower percentage of band or chain. And say if you don't have access to the accommodating resistance, you can just use straight weight, somewhere between 50 to 60%. So week 1 50, week 2 55, and week 3 60%. Now 5-3-1's a little bit easier. You just ramp up to a top set as laid out in the program. I don't want to give away this Jim Wendler's work, so week 2 you say is 70% for 3, 80% for 3, and then 90% for 3 plus would be that top set. And you are using 90% of your training max, which is 90%, so it's 90% of 90%. So you got to keep that in mind. That's very important. If you start using your all-out max when you're calculating for the 5-3-1 system, it's not going to work out for you. So after the primary work, the secondary work is a little bit easier to calculate. You just ramp up to a weight where you can get your target amount of reps. I usually start with 5, 8, or 12 reps, and you want to leave 3 reps in reserve, or RPE 7. And then just double progression where you're adding reps. Say you get from 5 to 8 reps, then you add a little bit of load, start back at 5 reps and repeat the process. And you're going to want to do this until you stall out or you start accruing overuse injuries or inflammation in your joints. And then for 5-3-1, for the secondary work, you just do some back downs. Say you take 50% of your training max and you do 5 sets of 10. Week 2 you can do 55% for 5 sets of 10. In week 3 you would do 60% for 5 sets of 10. And then week 4 you could do 65%. And then week 5 would be 70%. That is pretty aggressive. I'm not able to maintain that rate of progress. If I do, my progress ends up backfiring, and then I got to take a couple steps back. So I recommend a slower route where you just add 5 to 10 pounds per week. Every new mesocycle you begin in the 531 program, will be every 4th week, you can go up to the next 5% bracket and then start adding 5 to 10 pounds a week there. Okay, so last off is the tertiary work, and it's going to be the same for conjugate or 531. You're just ramping up to your target rep goal. Usually for accessories, between 8 and 15 reps is a good starting zone, and you want to leave 2 reps in the tank, or RP 8. And same thing as with the secondary work, just a double progression where you're adding reps and then load until you stall or accrue some overuse injuries. All right, and that's all I have time for today. So I hope you found the video helpful, Bobby, and all you other subscribers out there. I hope you found it informative as well. If you did, leave a comment down below. Your guys' support means the world to me. And thank you again for watching. And make sure to have a great day.